just thinking we can learn something from Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the conversation that took place between Lord, uh, between Prahlada and his own father, Hiraṇyakaśipu, the father and son dialogues. Quite interesting dialogue uh, of a 5-year-old having a conversation with an adult. So we can learn something. I'm just going to go through Srimad Bhagavatam pages here, and then I have two computers having Bhagavatam on the other screen over here, and see how beautiful conversation that took place between father and son. Okay, we'll get started with some invocation prayer. Govinda Keshava Janardana Vasudeva Vishveshva Vishwa Madhusudana Vishwarupa Sri Padmanabha Purushottama Pushkaraksha Narayana Achyuta Narasimha Namo Namaste. Praying at the lotus feet of Lord Nṛsiṁha, and this particular sloka is chanted by Lord Ramachandra himself. And the glory of Nṛsiṁha is that Lord Ramachandra also prayed to Lord Nṛsiṁha. And yeah, so Canto 7, Chapter 5, text number 4, where not going too much of the story part, assuming you all know the story. Of course, you all know the story, but we'll connect here and there. Now, Prahlad is returning back from his school, and then the father wants to do check on his son, how he is studying in the school and how the courses studies are going on. It usually happens. As a parent, we need to check on the children and ask questions. What did you learn today, and so forth, right? Like that, the tradition is that. Like that, Hiraṇyakaśipu was asking, Katyatam Vatsamanyete Sadhyat Bhavan. He was asking, my dear son, please tell me, please let me know what you think the best of all subjects you have studied from your teachers. That was the first thing he was asking, to check on his son, whether things are going very well or not. See, we should also make sure that our children, for their children, we just not let them put them into some classes, schools, and just let them as they are. We have to check on them and find out how they are doing, right? So to that, Prahlad Maharaj said, Sri Prahlada Uvacha, Tat sadhu manne asura varya dehinam sada samudvigna diyam asat grahat hitvatma patam grihamanta kupam vanam gato yat dharim ashrayate. He said, my dear father, the best of the asuras, the king of the demons, as far as I've learned, the thing that I've learned is this body is temporary, the household life is temporary, and we are always embraced by the anxiety in our life, and we have fallen into the dark well, and we are suffering here. And this was a response to his father's question. And therefore, the best thing is to give up what we are doing right now and enter into gatva yadhari. He says, you have to enter into the forest, vanam gatavo yad dharim ashrayate. Take shelter at the forest, in the forest, by going there and then meditate upon the Lord, the Supreme Lord. And this was his response to his father. This Antakupam, as you must have heard, there was a beautiful analogy has been given where this man who was in the forest passing through different villages. He came to a forest, moving to his journey. As he was going, he was chased by a tiger. As he was chased by the tiger, he somehow or the other slipped and fell into a dark well. He hit his head. The blood was pouring out, but he was somewhere over there. But then on the top, the tiger was over there waiting for him to come up. But then he felt, I'm safe now. I'm doing good, because even in spite of the bleeding of his blood, he was feeling very happy about being saved at that point of time. But then he was hearing some hissing sound from bottom. Then he looked down. He saw there was a big python, big one with an open mouth. It's also slowly trying to come up towards him. So he was in a situation where thinking that up there was a tiger, down there was a python, He was not sure what to do. He can't go up, he can't go down, he can't stay there forever also. He was not sure what to do at that point of time. He see that the python is slowly sliding up. So he thought there was a slight branch over there. He somehow just managed to catch hold of that branch over there. He was just holding to the branch. Now he was little away from the snake, and then of course the tiger's on the top. So he was holding to the branch. How long can he hold to the branch? For not for long, but he's getting tired. At the time he was hearing some another sound, some sound. Then closely noticed that there are two rats, big size ones, were trying to eat the branch. And then one was in white in color, another one is in black in color. It was trying to eat the branch. He don't know what to do at that point of time. Then he saw there's another little up there was honey. There's a honey comb. There was a lot of honeycomb. So he thought that there are a lot of honeybees are there. So somehow they had to get rid of this rats to save himself. He thought that he will somehow do something. So he was just trying to wave his hand or with one hand and do something. And all the bees started flying out of that one and started everywhere stinging him all over the body. So he was in suffering in condition where tiger on the top, the python on the down, and the rats are trying to eat the branch, and the bees are all stinging him continuously. At that point of time, somehow the drop from the honeycomb fell on his mouth, one drop. He felt anandam, anandam. So he felt very, very happy that that one drop of honey made him so very happy. Now he was enjoying that honey, hoping there'll be another drop of honey falling in his mouth. Now, this is a story has been told by actually Vidura in Mahabharata also, the same story, where we can relate here, where Prahlāda Mahārāja hitvatma patam grihamanta kupam, where we all fell into this antakupam, the dark well. We fell into this dark well. Now, what is this tiger? Is all our karma vasanas. It will not let us sit in one place, continuously chasing this karma, papa, and punya, continuously chasing us will not let us live in peace. That is a tiger given an opportunity. And then what is this well, dark well, is graha anda kupam. Graha means the family life. The family life, we are all well into the family life. This family life is nothing but a dark well. And what about the python? Birth, disease, old age, hunger, thirst, and all those things that we can think about. This is the python constantly trying to catch up with us. We cannot escape from this one. It's coming closer and closer and closer and closer. We may want to be always living in this world like Hiraṇyakaśipu, but then the time doesn't let us do that one. It's coming closer and giving us all those different things of problems in our body and also in mind. And what we try to do at that point of time, we try to catch hold of the branch. Well, I have this problem, that problem, that problem, this problem. What to do? Well, let's look for the Aushadam and Vaidyas. That is the medicine and doctors. That is a hope for us, the insurance company and different things. That's a hope for us. We catch hold of to this branch. But how long can we catch hold of to the branch? There is Kala and Mrityu eating the branch also constantly. So there's no one can give guarantee to our existence into this world for a long time. One day or the other, we all have to finish our project here and go back. It's just matter of time. Each one of us came in different time. Each one of us have to go at one point of time differently. So what about these honeybees? Honeybees are none other than continuously bothered by our friends, so-called friends, and so-called relatives. They will not let us in peace. Continue. Oh, you're going to this ISKCON temple, you're chanting, you're doing this one. Why are you doing this one? If you do this one, you cannot come to our program, you cannot be free with us. So these are the friends. Whether you do good thing, there'll be hundreds of people coming and bothering us. Right? So those are the honeybees. The honey is nothing but the short-term pleasure that we get during with all these problems that going on in our life. We have been chased by the karma vasanas. We have been completely eaten by our old age, disease, and etc. etc. And then our relatives and friends are bothering us, and the Kala and Mrityu are continuously chasing us, and they are ready to swallow us just like that. In between, we are trying to find happiness. And this is the message of Prahlad. It's a beautiful sloka. It's the very first dialogue that he tells to his father that sadhu manye asara varya dehinam itvatma padam kridhanta kopam vanam gato yat darim ashrayate. Take shelter in the forest and then meditate upon the Lord. This was his word. Now, after hearing this one, Hiraṇyakaśipu said, what? Jahasa buddhir balanam bhityate para buddhibihi. He says, your intelligence is being spoiled by someone. Your intelligence spoiled by someone, some enemy. Someone is spoiled. He called the gurus. He said, what have you done? You're not given proper instruction. You got to give him a good instruction. Take him back. Make sure that he's not contaminated by any Vaishnavas. Any Vaishnavas. So keep him protected by all these bad lessons. Teach him good lessons. Because Hiranyakashipu has his own syllabus. His syllabus is very interesting syllabus. It's for political science. In a political science, is political science also a little different than the political science that's offered over there? It differentiates who are the enemies, who are the friends. And what the friends are the asuras, the enemies are the suras. And how to kill, how to fight, how to torture. These are the subject matter. So all the children are getting trained in this particular thing. Right? Therefore, he said, teach them the right message, right syllabus that I have given. Don't teach any out of course. Don't teach anything out of course. Now the boy is taken back. And again, some things happen over there in the school, and then he again comes back to his father. This is again in the 5th chapter of 7th canto, 22nd sloka, where Hiranyakashipu takes his son lovingly again, makes him sit on his lap. Sit on his lap. Now he is asking his son, asking, Swadhitam kinchit uttamam. He said, my dear son, tell me uttamam. Uttamam means tell me the best thing to your knowledge. Now that you've been in the school for some time, please repeat to me, what do you think is the best of the knowledge? When the pastor's father asks, what is the best thing out that you learned so far? Then Prahlad says here, Shavanam Ketanam Vishnuho Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnuho Bhaktirchin Navalakshanam. Navalakshanam. There are Lakshanam of Bhakti is 9 things. Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dhasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam. Again, we're not going to go into the details of this one. In short, hearing, chanting, and then remembering the holy name of Krishna's pastime, his qualities, his everything, and then serving the lotus feet of the Lord, and etc. etc. These are the 9 lakshanam of bhakti. One can even take one of these things and become perfect devotee. Not that one has to do all the 9. One can even be one, take one and become a wonderful devotee. Right? Now your Pada Sevanam, as Acharya gives, how can you serve the Lord's lotus feet? Is somewhere. Right? How can you serve the Lord's lotus feet? When we say Pada Sevanam, that means serving the devotees. That's an important, very important thing. And serving the devotees is called Pada Sevanam. Now, after that, what happens is when Hiranyakashipu hears this particular thing, then Brahma Bandhu, Kim Etatte, he said, Vipaksham Shayatat Sata Asaram Grahito Bhalo Mam Anardritya Durmate. He said, looks like you're completely gone, you speak nonsense. You developed this something called devotion or bhakti, and you disobeyed my order and taken the shelter of my enemies. This is not good. Then he turned, and at that point of time, the guru said, the gurus and the 2 gurus of Shukracharya, they turned and said, my dear sir, don't get too much angry. Children are always like that. They speak something. And then again, Hiranyakashipu tried to make many attempts to kill Prahlad and so forth. That all happens. But then the guru said, give us one more chance. Give us one more chance, and we make sure that this time he obeys your order, he learns things, and we'll bring him back. And then Hiraṇyakaśipu, or is a rascal, you are like a poison in our family. You become a devotee of our enemy, which is not good. Where did you get this knowledge from? Yes, where did you get the knowledge from? At that time, Prahlāda said, Matirna Krishne Parata Swatava. He says that, my dear father, please understand, no one have given any. This is the important thing. Is it does not mention Narada Muni's name over here. And even the Guru said, we did not teach him anything in our school like this. Looks like is naturally having this bhakti within himself without being educated, is naturally seem to be inclined towards Narayana. That we don't know how he got. At that point of time, Hiraṇyakaśipu asked, how did he get this natural inclination towards Narayana, who's my enemy? So therefore, it's also important that um, natural inclination is nice, but the natural inclination to happen also, a devotee has to be part of our life for the inclination to take place. In case of Prahlāda Maharaj, it was definitely, we all know that it is Narada Muni who put the seed of bhakti in the heart of Prahlad when Prahlad was not even born. Therefore, we should know the association of the devotees and the greatness of Guru in our life. Therefore, Hiranyakashipu Matirna Krishne Paratas Svatova. He says, Punap Punas Charvati Sarvananam. This is a beautiful another sloka, 30th sloka, where he says that, my dear father, these sort of things cannot be understood by people who are very much engrossed in the material life. If you're very, you cannot have both running parallelly. You want to have a enjoyable, pleasurable material life, and also you want to have a Krishna conscious, devoted life. It's going to go little hard. It's not that you cannot, but it's going to be taking time unless and until you understand what is material pleasure and how it's become an obstacle in one's life in progressing in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Of course, when you surrender to Krishna, not everyone becomes a great devotee. They may still have this desire to wanting to enjoy. So Krishna, who surrendered, but also sometimes people have this material desire. Krishna is not going to get upset with it. He will try to fulfill that desire also. But the problem is, this other side of the track is going to take time. It's going to be delayed. It's going to be delayed. Like a parenting, in parenting, sometimes we want our children to be the best of best. So we want them to do this one and that one. But the children may be interested only in wanting to do what they wanted to do. Right? How does the parent deal? All right, okay, let me somehow or the other bring this child into this path by letting him do what he wants or he or she wants to do little bit. Hmm? We try to balance this out. Likewise, the Lord also does sometime. Okay, if you want to enjoy something, enjoy. I'll wait and make sure somehow or the other, even if not today, if not tomorrow, if not next year, if not after 10 years, if not this lifetime, next lifetime, I'll try to bring you back. So it just depends on our desire, how soon we want to go back to Krishna. That level of that degree is what going to define us, how soon we can go. Now, he says, because of one's uncontrollable senses, the person become addicted and they fell into this unleashed condition, and they repeatedly try to punas charvati sharvananam, try to enjoy the same thing which has been chewed again and again and again and again, which has no taste after one point of time. Then he goes on saying the 31st sloka. If you're following with me on Veda based on a book, this is the 31st sloka. Nate viduhu swartha gatim hi Vishnu durashaya ye bhagirartha maniha. Now he says that person who was strongly entrapped by the material consciousness, for them, they are like a blind people. They don't know where to go, what to do, and how to go. The senses are controlling them. They cannot understand the goal of life, how to go back to Vishnu. They cannot be engaged in the service of Vishnu. A blind man guided by another blind man missed the right path and fall into the ditch. So most of the people are guided and given advices by another blind man. They're all materialistic. Therefore, it's important we don't take advice from materialistic people. If they take, because they're blind, we are already blind, and we are going to go to a blind man and trying to tell you, can you show me the path? And that's not going to be the right way to do. Therefore, we also always have to take guidance from the Vaishnavas, from the devotees. If something is not sure in our life what to do, we don't know what to do in our life, then we have to take. And now he's an interesting point where Prahlad says how to get the blessings of Vaishnava, how to get our eyes open, not to be blind. Then he says that unless and until we take the dust from the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas and apply in our body, we cannot be we cannot become pure. Therefore, we should now just not go to the temple and pulling everyone's leg and tell them, give your dust, give your dust. That's not what it means. What it means is what it means is taking the dust of the devotees and applying, smearing on our body means we being submissive and humble and accepting that person as our Prabhu, Master. I am servant, and accepting the instruction or guidance given by that particular devotee. That is what really it meant. If you literally want to do that, that is very, very good. But it's not possible. No one is going to come and tell, take my dust from take the Pada Dhuli. They're not going to do this one. So the best thing is to serve the devotees in a way that they are pleased. So by doing in that way, we can become Krishna consciousness and Krishna will be pleased. And all our material contamination will go away. Easy way to become pure is by serving the devotees. Now Prahlad says, after Prahlad spoken like this, you should see Hiranyakashipu's reaction. He was blinded by anger. He just threw him off his lap onto the ground. Threw him off the lap onto the ground. Like how this also happened in Dhruva's. It was quite interesting. And Dhruva also sat on the lap of his father. Here, Prahlad also sat on the lap of the father. Both went through the same situation. In that case, where Dhruva was not realized, self-realized in that age, whereas a comparison with Prahlad, this Prahlad was self-realized over here. Right? There are two different situations. Sitting on lap, that could be a comparative lecture by itself, beautifully, if anyone wants to think of giving that lecture. Now, his eyes were like reddish, like a molten copper. He called his servant, said, take this boy away and then kill him. Just kill him. He's no more my son. He's just it's a poison. If you let him grow, he's going to completely ruin our tradition, ruin our family. Everything will go away. Therefore, take this boy and kill him. And that's when all attempts were made to kill Prahlad. Many attempts were made, but nothing was successful. Nothing was successful. But then again, Santa and Amarta, the gurus of the school, they said, give us one more chance. We'll this time see this mistake never happens. And then they take him to the school this time. What happens is things have become much more serious now. Whenever their time permits, when the gurus are not present, Prahlad start teaching to the boys. He start teaching to the boys what is bhakti and how important of life and so forth. That's a different samvada, that's a different dialogue. That's not part of today's thing. But the gurus can see that the boys are becoming Krishna consciousness. The boys are becoming Krishna consciousness. That now it's become a serious matter. What to do? It's become serious matter. They decided this is not going to work, and this boy is completely spoiled. They tried to create fear in the heart of Prahlad, and they tried to do so many things, but nothing worked. Therefore, they said, we are going to give up this one. Let's take him back to his father. Let his father deal with this boy. That's all. Now they're bringing Prahlad back to his father, Hiranyakashipu, and they tell what has happened. My dear king, Asura Raja, we have given up on this boy. He is not going to change. He has become serious in Krishna consciousness. Not only he becomes serious, he is also making everyone serious, all the other boys serious. This is one of the important thing. How do we know we are progressing in Krishna consciousness, right? If you're progressing in Krishna consciousness, then your mouth cannot be quiet. you want to talk about Krishna to others, whether that person is a devotee or non-devotee or whomever it is, you want to speak about Krishna Katha to others. When I say Krishna Katha, it includes of all spiritual topics, right? You want to speak about these things. You cannot keep quiet. That's an advancement in Krishna consciousness. So we should not be fearful to speak about Krishna to anyone. Of course, we have to, in this time of age of where we live, we have to be careful also. Time, place, and circumstance important, and we cannot try to imitate like Prahlāda Mahārāja, right? So we have to be careful. But the point here is the devotees want to spread Krishna consciousness to everyone. So they brought Prahlad to Hiraṇyakaśipu, and then now it's the last part of where conversation takes place between Hiraṇyakaśipu and Prahlad. Now he says, Kulabheda Karadhama. He said, Kulabheda Karadhama. He said, my dear, he says, you are impediment in our family or unintelligent person. You don't know what the life purpose of life is to understand I am the supreme controller. I am the Ishvara. And you're thinking someone else to be the controller, someone else to be the Ishvara. I think you are desiring to be killed. And I think you're desiring to go back to Yamapatna. Hmm? Looks like you are very much interested not to stay here with me, but you're interested to go back to Yamaraj. That means what? You to be killed. You should die. That's what he said. Kim bhala tyagaha. He said, by whose power are you so fearless? The even the devatas, gandharvas, yaksha, rakshasa, asuras, everyone is literally fearful of me. But you don't have the problem for Hiranyakashipu is this is main problem. He would have let Prahlad be as he is, but the problem for him is he was feeling that his ego was touched because Prahlad was fearless. That was his problem. That was his main problem. Right? Sometimes what happens in our relation when we are in devotee, the biggest problem sometimes a devotee may have, why the devotee is not respecting me? The whole world is respecting me. Everyone thinks I am great. Everyone appreciate that how nice I'm doing my services, how great I am. If I'm not there, people know how this temple is going to run or how this community is going to go. Everyone knows. But this devotee, this Prabhu or this Mataji just ignores me. Just ignores me. And that is the biggest problem that we may have. One may have. So likewise, the biggest problem that Hiranyakashipu had was the entire creation is including Brahma. Everyone was fearful about Hiranyakashipu except the one who was 5-year-old. It's a great insult for such a person. Just imagine. You just put yourself, let's practically do this one. This is something we have to practically try to apply. Be in the position of Hiranyak. We don't want to, but be in the position of Hiranyakashipu. Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Varuna, Yama, right? Everyone respects fall at my feet. Everyone, except my son. It's not an easy thing to digest, seriously speaking. That was his problem. His problem was, why are you not fearful of me? Why are you not fearful of me? He asked, Kim Balo, where do you get this power to become fearless? How do you get the power to become fearless? And Prahlad says, Na kevalam me bhavatascha rajan savai bhalam balenam chapare sham pare vare ami stira jangama ye. He says that my dear father, the source of my strength is the same source of your strength. Wherever you got the source, wherever you got your strength from, that's exactly the same source where I got from. Now, according to Hiranyakashipu, where did he get his power from? Brahma. Right? He may be thinking Brahma is the ultimate source. Maybe my son also got the same because it got inherited. Like how the wealth of a father, when father passed away, go to the children. He thought that I did the tapasya austerity, I got the boon, Therefore, my son also got inherited by default. He inherited the same thing. That's why maybe he got this power to be fearless. He was thinking wrongly. He was thinking like that. Ishvaraha Kala Urukramas Urukrama. Now he says that, my dear father, the supreme personality of Godhead is a controller. He is the time factor. He is the power of all powerhouse. He says this one. Then he goes on telling that Prahlad continues, my dear father, therefore kindly give up the demonic mentality. The biggest thing that you are thinking, my father, I know what your problem is. Now he's giving solution to his father. The 5-year-old is giving solution to the father. I know where the problem is. The problem is you're discriminating between these people as these are good people, these are bad people. The good people are my friends, bad people are my enemies. And how do you differentiate good and bad? Those people are good people who align with your mindset, with your program. Those people are enemies who go against your program. Is it not what happens in psychologically? If you think about how we have friends and enemies, if at all, then we also have the same thing. You don't align with my program, then you are my enemy. You don't listen to me, you don't appreciate me, you don't say haribol to me, you don't, etc., etc. You don't invite me, etc. You are my enemy. Or if you speak great about me, then you are my friend. What he says, samam mano drishva na santi vidvesha. He says that that's the problem, I think, father. The problem is you're discriminating. These are good people and these are bad people. That's set in your mind. Rather, what you should do is samam mano, samam in your mind. You have to treat everyone equally, equipoise everyone. Don't think that these are bad people, these are good people. Then he goes on saying that. Then he says, Hiraṇyakaśipu says, after hearing that a lecture from Prahlad, he says, this is enough of enough. You have spoken so much. I can therefore understand that you have completely have a strong desire to be killed in my hands. Now he made all the attempts to kill Prahlad in different ways. Now he says, yeah, Vyaktum tvam martu kama asi. Kama asi means you have a desire, kama means desire. You have a desire that you want to be killed by my hands. Looks like that is what is really needed. And you should, so that you can stop talking nonsense. This is where he says. Now he says, now you've been keep on talking about the Lord is everywhere and everywhere and everywhere. Where is he? Have you seen the Lord? And Prahlad says, I'm seeing that right now. He's right there. Where? He's right. He's everywhere. This everywhere business, stop talking this is everywhere. Tell me exactly where he is. Tell me exactly where he is. He said, my dear father, he is everywhere. How can you tell he is not there? If I am present here, I'm not present in St. Louis. But can we tell the same thing to Krishna? Krishna only present in St. Louis, not in Dallas, not in this place and that place. No, he is present everywhere. How can you? How can I pinpoint and no, 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 no. Tell me, is he present here? When Hiraṇyakāśipu was challenging Prahlad like this, the Lord, this is where the Lord, this is what the Lord did. The Lord has already taken his position in all the pillars, not one pillar, because he's a crazy guy. Hiraṇyakāśipu is a crazy guy. He can go and tell, is he in that pillar? No, 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 I changed my mind. Is he in that pillar? Come back, come and tell this pillar. He may do anything. Therefore, the Lord took his position in all the pillars. He was waiting, right, for Hiraṇyakāśipu to pick a pillar. Now, therefore, he was asking, he was asking that, is your Lord kasmat stambena drishyate mat anyo jagadishwara mat anyo jagad. Don't keep on telling that there is someone else as Ishwara other than me. Ishwaroham in Bhagavad Gita said these are the demonic mentality where people think they are the controller. They are the proprietor. Everything belongs to me. Everything should revolve around me. This mentality is called asuric mentality, demonic mentality. We want to be the center point of everything that's happening. Sometimes we have to be very careful and watchful. Otherwise, this mentality may also peep in, somehow come into our mind also, even though we are practicing Krishna consciousness. We have to be very careful, especially when you're in a position, right? When you're holding a position, this may naturally come into our behavior also. That I am so and so. Now everyone have to, the whole thing has to revolve around me. Right? Everyone have to listen to me, obey me, offer me obeisances, worship me, garland me, and etc. etc. We have to be careful. That means we are slowly getting into the Ishvara Bhava. We're getting into Ishvara Bhava. We are not Ishvara. We are Dhasas. We have to remember the whole purpose of Krishna consciousness is for us to become a servant of servant of servant of servant of servant of servant, not to become master of master of master of master of master. This we have to constantly keep telling to our mind. We have to preach to our mind, no, 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 come back, come back, come back. Don't get into master business. Come back to servant, be a servant leader. We have to be a leader. We have to be a servant leader. So therefore, Hiranyakashipu was thinking that I am Ishvara, and you keep on telling there is someone else as Ishvara, someone else is Ishvara. Mad Anyo Jagadishvara. This whole universe, I am Ishvara. There's no one as Anya. There's no one else that you can think as Ishvara. But you're not going to listen to me because your mind is completely contaminated. Therefore, you show me that Ishvara, whom you think as Ishvara, to whom I am actually Ishvara. Therefore, you show me that your Lord, and if he's brave enough, then I can handle him. I can kill him. Because the whole thing was Hiranyakashipu was angry. Asuras naturally have some hatred towards the devatas. But in case of Hiranyakashipu, what happened was he was very upset and very, very angry because his brother was killed by Narayana. That made him to become more serious or whatever. He was becoming like that, right? Therefore, he was thinking that Narayana killed my brother, younger brother. Therefore, I have to kill him. And I have to take, because Hiranyaksha, his favorite drink is not Alfonso mango juice or mango lassi or apple juice or anything. His favorite drink is blood. Hiranyaksha's favorite drink is a glass of jug of blood of Asuras and others. Therefore, he was telling that I will offer my brother blood of Narayana. Blood of Narayana. I'll cut him and get the blood and offer to my brother. That's what his idea was. I want to offer blood of Narayana. So he was very, very angry. So he wanted to kill. Another important point we should learn from this thing is he is a different type of atheist. Atheists generally do not believe in God. In this case, he is not non-believer of God. This type of atheism is where he want to nullify God, existence of God. It's a different personality, right? He's not telling there's no God. He's telling I want to make there's no God. I want to make sure that there's no God. No one is superior than me. That was his idea. So he's a different type. So he was asking, Kasmat stambena drishyate. He said, is your Lord present everywhere? Then okay, tell me if he's present in this pillar. And Prahlāda says, my dear Lord, what are you talking about this pillar? He's also present in those pillars. There are many, many pillars in this big, beautiful building in this place, a palace. So he said, he's present in all the different pillars. That's all fine. Is he present in this particular pillar? Then Acharya gives an explanation why that is very particular about this particular pillar. Because when the construction happened of this beautiful palace, he was present there when this particular pillar was being built. So he knows very well the contractors, the engineers, and the architect, when they did, he was present there. They did not put anything inside and cover it up. So he knows there's no one inside this pillar, and he was not sure about other pillars. It's a beautiful commentary given by the acharyas. We have to enjoy the way how they give commentaries, not to get into the very academic thing of how is that possible. Was he present there? Don't get into too much of these things. Just take it and lightly and enjoy those commentaries. So he said, is he present in this particular pillar? Kasmat stambe nadrishyate. And Prahlāda said, yes, he's present. He is right there. He's looking at me. Look at this. Prahlāda said, I can see him. The Lord is present. Lord is present. I can. And Where is? I don't see him. Na drishyate, I cannot see him. I don't see him, he is present here. Yes, he is present. I can see him. Then at that point of time, he became very angry. And then he just got out of his throne. He got his sword out and came close to, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to crash this pillar. And if your Lord doesn't come, then I'm going to kill you. Or I'm going to kill you. Let's see if your Lord comes and protects you. It's both ways. I like an elephant. He was just like, I'm like a lion, you like an elephant, I'm going to break open your head. This is a dialogue taking place between father and son. Have any father had that, my dear son, you didn't get A plus grade, I'm like a lion, you like an elephant, I'm going to break open your head. Imagine having a dialogue like this, father and son. Yeah, the father was telling like, I'll break open your head. Let's see if your Lord Narayana comes and helps you. Then he got out of his seat. He came near the column with his big fist. He just hit the pillar. And at that point of time, a huge tumultuous sound, great sound happened. That's what the slokas here says. And all the devatas in the higher planetary system, they also become very fearful. They didn't know where the sound is coming from. Bhukandam varanandam paravaravartam dambadamborudambam dim 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 didim bim dahamapi dahamaihi jampa jampaisya jampaihi tulyas tulyastu tulyaha dhuma 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 dhukaihi kunkumankai kumankaihi yetate purna yukta maharaha karaha patumam narasimha. He just comes out with half lion and half human body. And then he finishes Hiraṇyakaśipu. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akileshu chatmanaha. This is the beautiful sloka, 17th sloka in the chapter, in the slaying of Hiraṇyakaśipu, where to prove the statement of his devotee, Prahlāda. Because what Prahlāda said, Father, is your Lord present in this pillar? And to prove the statement of his devotee, dear devotee, he appeared. Satyam vidhatum nija bhritya bhashitam vyaptum cha bhuteshu akileshu chatmanah. Rupam udvahan adrishyatma yadbhute rupam udvahan stambe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. Stambe sabhayam, in the sabha, in the palace, stambe, in the pillar, he came out of that pillar. Na mrigam, na manusham, is neither animal nor human. Manusham is a combination of both human and animal. A beautiful, wonderful rupam. Beautiful rupam. The Lord Nṛsiṁha is considered to be the most beautiful personality. So he just appeared right from the pillar onto the assembly and then killed Hiraṇyakaśipu. To keep up the promise of his devotee, Prahlāda, to keep up the promise of Brahma also. What did Brahma say? What did Brahma give what boon was given to Hiraṇyakaśipu? He fulfilled all this condition also. Okay? We know that every condition, single condition, is being fulfilled. In this way, Nṛsiṁha appeared to give protection to his devotee, take care of his devotee. We also pray to Lord Nṛsiṁhadeva on this most auspicious day to give protection not only to us, to give protection to all the devotees all over the world. Let's pray at the lotus feet of Lord Nṛsiṁha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Prahlāda Varada, who can only save everyone, who doesn't take any delay or time to come and save his devotees. All we have to have is develop that particular faith. And our faith is always flickering. That's a problem. Therefore, we have to pray to the Lord to give that faith, a strong faith, that our existence is completely dependent on the Lord alone. So let's pray to the Lord to give us all the strength in Krishna consciousness for ourselves and also all the devotees all over the world. Mangalam Sri Gurubhyestu Tat Gurunam Cha Mangalam Tatradhya Guruve Nityam Sri Nṛsiṁhāya Mangalam. Thank you all very much for joining this morning. and we'll see if there is any discussions or questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question. When we say that there are like nine different forms of Nrsimha, so like is it based on like how the devotees, like different devotees got the association of Nrsimha, or how did that manifestation happen?
Oh, this Ahobilam story is beautiful. So every form of the Lord, we can take a session and speak on that one. But it is for the pleasure of the devotees. The Lord appear in certain forms. Even within the Narsimha form, Yoga Narsimha and so forth, different Ugra Narsimha and so forth, he appears in such a way everyone would like to worship Narsimha in certain form. The Lord appears in certain ways for the devotee's pleasure. But
Okay,
again, this is in short.
yes, yes.
If we go into Mahatmyam of Ahobilam, then we'll know a lot more.
Okay, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, how long did Lord Nrsimha remain
One
on
Muhurta
planet?
Kala, 1.5 hours, that is close to,
1.5 hours?
yeah, one Muhurtam, 45 to, yeah, yeah,
Okay, Prabhuji.
that's
Hare
all.
Krishna. Thank you so much.
Within one Muhurta Kala, he finished everything and then he went off. That's why he's on in his project. He just focus on that one. He doesn't delay things coming and taking birth and then playing games here and there and all. He doesn't do any of those things. He just comes for the project, he finishes and goes back.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to add anything?
Yeah, Harish.
Anyone?
So you just mentioned the word Kulabedi. I just draw that similarity between Vibhishan and Prahlad Maharaj. Both were called by Ravan as well as Hiranyakashipu called them as Kulabedi. So these are the Kul. I mean, generally that Kulabedi is used in a wrong sense, but here both are actually glorified.
Yes. Nice comparison. All right.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Yeah. Dandavat.
Prabhu, like how was Narasimha's anger? How was it subsided at the end, Prabhu? Like what happened and how the anger got subsided after killing Hiranyakashipu?
There are different stories. It is said that if you go to the Mahatmyam of Melkotai, which is in Karnataka, it is said the Lord came over there and then he was pacified in that particular tirtha. So you can have different things, but one thing is from Bhagavatam we learn from his anger was pacified by Bhakta Prahlad, right? You know this one. Even Lakshmi herself was fearful to see. I never seen my husband in this form. Oh, when I said Lakshmi, this is outside of your question. I want to add one thing before I forget. Is in any of the Lord's form, the Mahalakshmi is present on Lord's chest. But if you see Narasimha, it's a only avatar, only form where Lakshmi is sitting on the lap of Lord Narasimha. Okay? The question is why? When every other avatar, she's present on the chest, but why in Narasimha avatar, she's sitting on the lap of the Lord Narasimha is because if she's sitting on the chest, how can you see the Lord's beautiful face? Therefore, she comes out and sits on the lap so that she can see the beautiful face of Lord Nṛsiṁhadeva. Anyway, to coming back to your point, it was Bhakta Prahlad who passed, according to the Bhagavatam, he was the one who pacified Lord Nṛsiṁha.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One more question. It is said, is it true? It should be true. Like Lord Nrsimha was 30 feet tall or more than that. And like when during this Satyuga to Treta Yuga, the height of people was very, it was very high. Um, and then Hiranyakashipu was also of the same height.
I don't
Just
know. I don't know the height measurement. I really don't know.
yes. This is just because during this one of the recent movie created by ISKCON, they have depicted Lord Narasimha is very, very tall, very tall. So just I thought like just to
And
know.
they say in those yugas, everyone were tall. Age was also more age. As it decreased, everything decreased. But I don't know how tall he was and how tall Hiranyakashipu was. At least I have read that Varaha's how tall he was. Varahadev, when he was so tall that he have this anklet, ornament called an anklet they put on the feet, ankle, um, and inside the anklet that he was wearing, they usually in those days they used to have a valuable jewel inside, diamond, pearls, and etc. etc. And it is said that the stones inside were nothing that the universe and the planets. Every it's the size of a planet inside the anklet of Varahadev. Then you can imagine what could be his size, huge size.
Yes. Hare
So
Krishna.
I don't know the measurement of how tall he was. I don't know about Nrsimhadev. And one Muhurta Kala, as I said, it is. I was just checking here. It is 30 kalas, which is 48 minutes. That is one Muhurta Kala.
Thank you so much for that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Prabhu, I was just drawing two things. I was hearing to this lecture you gave earlier related to this Narsimha avatar in the morning only. You were mentioning about the devotee has to be grateful for anyone who has brought him into Krishna consciousness. So I was just thinking, is there any internal reason why did Prahlad Maharaj did not mention about Narad Muni when Hiranyakashipu asked, "Who taught you this?"
Yeah, because you don't want to put Narada Muni into problem. That's the first thing. I doesn't want to put Narada Muni into problem. Very carefully, he was just avoiding the name of Narada Muni. That's all the explanation is given. Sometimes we have to do that also. Sometimes if you go and tell, for example, if I go and talk to someone whom you know, that person asks, Lal, how did he become a devotee? I tell it's all mercy of Amoganam Prabhu. But that person doesn't like you. If I tell your name only, you will just think something, right? So I'm not going to tell Amohana Prabhu brought me into Krishna. I'll tell one nice devotee from Maharashtra, or this person from Bombay, Mumbai, he made me a devotee. That's all I'm going to tell. I'm not going to give the details of it. That's all. A simple practical thing.
Yeah. Thank
That's
you.
the explanation given by the acharyas. At least one explanation. I don't know if there's anything else other than that.
Thank you.
But it's very important also, whenever we have to glorify a person, we definitely do not miss an opportunity to glorify that person who brought us into Krishna consciousness. If the situation is right, we should not that time try to one devotee. You don't need to tell that. You have to tell this is by His mercy I became a devotee. That when you get an opportunity, you have to tell openly. There is nothing wrong in telling this one. Sometimes people feel hesitant to tell and hide the name, how they became into Krishna consciousness, who their guru are. There's nothing wrong in telling who your guru is, nothing wrong in telling how you came into Krishna consciousness, which devotee helped you. There's nothing, it's great, in fact. This is the only way that we can show our gratitude. Otherwise, can we give them anything else as a gift for what they have done in our life? We cannot match. If someone is made as a devotee, we cannot match them, we cannot pay them back with anything else other than giving Krishna to them. But Krishna is only one. Right? They are the one who has given us Krishna. Therefore, it's very important. When opportunity comes, we have to bravely appreciate devotees. Okay. All right. Any more last questions? I hope it was a little inspirational on this auspicious day of Nrsimha Manjira Mataji, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, how long did Prahlad take to calm down Nṛsiṁhadeva, Prabhu?
How long did Prahlāda take to calm
His
Nṛsiṁha?
prayers, because Nṛsiṁha was very angry state, right? Then he everybody steps back and he's the only one who goes ahead and prays for him to calm down, become cool down. So how long did that process take?
How long it take for Prahlāda to pacify Nṛsiṁha?
Yeah, is that there? I mean, is that information?
Yeah,
I
in
mean, right.
Bhagavatam has this information. It is there. How much ever time it took.
Okay,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yeah. They, including everyone, the devatas, including Brahma, they all came to Prahlāda. It is because of you the Lord came here and he is angry, and therefore it's your responsibility to make him cool, pacify him. He went and does the stuti, Nṛsiṁha stuti, and then the Lord become happy. And it's another nice connection between Ramayana and here is like Amavanam Prabhu said, over there Ramachandra coronated Vibhishana, right? Not in Lanka, over here on the other side of the ocean, right? Over here, you know who coronated Prahlad? Nṛsiṁhadev. Nṛsiṁhadev coronated Prahlad to be the king. Quite interesting. There's a correlation between these two and avatars nicely. But then before Nṛsiṁhadev coronated him, Nṛsiṁhadev went and sat on the throne of Hiraṇyakaśipu and then let Prahlad go and sit there. That is why we see, he often uses word Simhasana. Prabhu sit on the Simhasana, right? Simhasana, Narasimha sat on a seat. From that point onward, that seat has become Simhasana. That's how the name came, Simhasana. So one has to be very careful when you're sitting on Simhasana and speaking. That's another point. If you're speaking something which is not related and something making, then Simhasana will eat us off. We have to be very careful when you're giving classes, when you're speaking things, it's to glorify Krishna and glorify devotees. And we should not take that as a place for any political purposes. That's not good. Thank you all very much for joining. I would definitely miss today being in St. Louis because this is one of favorite festival, Lord Sudarshana and Nṛsiṁha's appearance day. Please request you all to pray for my Krishna consciousness. So we can of some service to you all as a servant of servant. Thank you all very much. I also pray for you today when I do my Abhishek over here. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Jai Nṛsiṁhadeva.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.